easier way to be able to see where everything is located. So this is where your hot, cold, fresh, all your tank pulls, your battery disconnect outside shower is. Here's some of your electrical. Just gives you an idea of where everything is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy, RV extraordinaire, coming from New Camp today. I'm going to do a walkthrough with you. Actually, not a walkthrough. It's a walkthrough of the line here, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how New Camp makes their Cirrus truck campers. Now, this truck, line, this is the 820s. Now, they also have the 920s, and coming soon will be the half-ton towable ones, or the half-ton truck ones, which is going to be the 670. So stay tuned for that. I plan on by the end of this month having a video showing you that specific unit. So for more information on these campers or any others, be sure if you call, if you email, or if you stop by Beckley's Camping Center, you ask for Paul the Air Force guy. But let's get on to this assembly line. So this is where they're going to be doing their truck camper sidewalls. They're going to be putting them together. One thing I want to point out on the sidewalls is, of course, you have your exterior fiberglass, and that is adhered to, this is Azdale versus some of the competition out there, they're using Luan. With Azdale, you don't have the risk of having it have delamination in the sidewall. They're also using, this is an Azdale interior panel for the inside. So again, from a moisture standpoint, it's not going to be absorbing any moisture or any water. So in this section, this is where they're going to be going ahead putting the windows and the doors and so forth on it, and then they'll be putting the decals. And then you say, well, Paul, how do they get these things to go down below? Well, you see they have the overhead, and they go ahead and they clamp onto those. They'll bring them across to the truck camper line where they're able to drop them down and install them on the camper. Now they also have the roof and the rear panels that are up here. And again, I want to point out to you that 9 times out of 10 you're going to have Luan on both sides. So you're going to have it on the roof on the top side as well as the interior, although that looks like it's Luan, it's not. That is actually an Azdale composite, again, so it doesn't absorb moisture. Now there are times that where they might have run out of that, where they had to use a Luan panel for the interior, but 9 times out of 10 they don't. So the roof panels, what they're doing is they're putting the speakers, the wiring, the lighting, everything in them up here. Now you're also going to notice that they put wood in the ends of it. Now the benefit of that is that when they're screwing that to the sidewall, it has something to bite. Okay, so now we're going to go down the actual Cirrus truck camper line. One thing I want to explain to you is how they make their floors. The floors on these, you're going to have the fiberglass on the outside, as you can see, but that fiberglass is adhered to Azdale. So, and then on the floor on the inside, this is what we call green core, and that is an Azdale-like substance, which is waterproof as well. And then these are all the additional panels and trim needed to start putting it together. And so you can see we're starting to get things together. It's starting to look like a truck camper. You see now they're able to put the flooring in on top of this green core, as you can see, and getting the plumbing and so forth put in place. Something I want to point out again is the fact that they're putting wood into your aluminum structure there, so that way there when they screw to that, they have something it can bite, and that's put in all the straight edges that you have on the truck camper itself, where things need to be screwed to. Now, to make it easy for us to go ahead and move this down the line, as you can see, they have this thing set on wheels in a track. And that way there, as they finish this particular section, and then it can move on down the line quite nicely. Now, as I had mentioned before, you can see that you have all your supplies are already lined up for you, ready for you to pull to be able to be installed on the unit. And as I pointed out before, how they fill these tubs and they send them down below, so they're able to be, has all the pieces that they need to put into putting this together. So this is what you're looking at, things you really can't see once everything is together. You can see how they mark the drawers, top, middle, bottom, top, bottom. Things are all marked quite nicely. You can see they give the support until they get things structurally sound. They give that some added support there. And you can see that, you can see under here, you see the ventilation that you have. That's going to be on there for later on for when they put the radiators in there for your heating system, so the heat will be able to radiate up through underneath the bed and so forth there. You can see there's one radiator there that's going to be up underneath your dinette when it's all said and done. So now, as you can see, we have the sidewall on one side for you. Starting to get the back part put together. You can see you have your wet bath installed. Everything's starting to come together. Wiring. See the refrigerator's getting ready to be installed. We've got the roof ready to be bolted down up there. Everything getting put in place. Now this is going to give you an idea of where the radiators go. You can see you have one under your kitchen counter. This is why this is a 4-season camper. You're going to have it here. Notice that that's where the plumbing is. You're also going to notice that it's coming up underneath the bed here. You're going to have it on both sides as well as the front. This is why this works so well for 4 seasons. For those of you that didn't know where the Aldi system was installed, it's up underneath your dinette booth right here, so it's easily accessible in the event that you need to get to it. But that is where it is located. And of course you can see what the flooring material looks like up underneath the bed area. Nicely finished off. So as they continue down the line, things just are getting more and more complete. See, now we're starting to put additional plumbing and electrical onto it. You see where your LP bottles are going to be located, right in this area. Starting to look like a truck camper. Gives you an easier way to be able to see where everything is located. So this is where your hot, cold, fresh, all your tank pulls, your battery disconnect outside shower is. Here's some of your electrical. Just gives you an idea of where everything is. Now next, they've got both sidewalls on. Now it's time to put the additional roof paneling on. Kind of give you an idea of how they do things. You can see the roof paneling there. Now you got to get the front and the end parts on, as well as get the wiring pulled through. Now the rear wall is put on, and you start to get the step and so forth. But this is what the roof panel looks like before they make it all nice and pretty with everything else they put on it. And again, this is that green core, which is the Asdale-like material that keeps from having water penetrate the material. Now what they're doing in this particular area is you can see now they have that aluminum roof structure put on there over top, and this is a full walk-on roof. You can see you get it with solar panel. It has that solar panel option. This is what the roof looks like. Now the roof rack system, you can put up to 150 pounds on the roof rack, but the roof itself, as far as for you, from a maintenance standpoint, you can get up on top and be comfortable walking up on this roof. You know, they said even 275 pound person, no problem working up on top of this roof here. So you see now they have the rear step bumper, whatever you'd like to call it, making it easier for you to get into the camper. You're going to have your jacks now installed. And then now you can see how the door, the panels on the side are coming in and they're getting installed. Notice now that both walls have been put on. Now it no longer needs that support mechanism. So again, and as we're going down the line, they're just going to be now just little tweaks, little minor touches, just so they can get them completed. You see here now that they had the wall on, now they're able to put the decals on it, put the trim pieces. And of course, if you have the rear awning, that's going to be a manual awning. The side awning is going to be electric, and that's going to be on a remote control that controls your jacks as well as that side awning. So now for the rest of the way going down the line, it's just a matter of touching up, completing the interior to get that finished, as well as the ladder on this. Now, you can, if you wanted to, you can opt not to have the ladder if you did not wish to have one. Of course, now depending on the outside color of your truck camper, you're going to see that your jacks are going to go ahead and be colored accordingly. Now once it gets down to the end of the line, this is where they're going to be plugging it in, and they're going to be checking everything to make sure everything is working. And as you can see, now it is just about ready to go into quality assurance. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is how the Cirrus truck camper is built. For more information on this or any other campers, be sure if you call, if you email, or if you stop by Beckley's Camping Center, you ask for Paul the Air Force Guy. Appreciate you watching, and I'm going to come back at you again soon. Take care.